Okay, I'm gonna unmute myself. Hello everybody, I'm Moth. I'm joined by Catnip and Yeesh. I'm not sure if Yeesh doing commentary as well, but we're going to commentate on the wildcard match between Kikar and Wodar tonight. And currently we're waiting on Kikar to do a little bit of warm up. And I guess they should be ready in just a minute.
I don't know if any wild cards are being played here, but this is a different game type, which is missions for points. All these maps are going to be known all missions, and every time you complete a mission, you get a point for it, and then whoever scores the most points will win the map. If the sniper does shoot a civilian, the spy gets full points for the map. So sniper kills are very key here.
Indeed, and so the format is best of 6, which means actually the first person to win 3 maps wins the entire match. So actually,
Or if there is a tie, the person with more map 1 wins the whole game.
Actually, it's probably best. Is it best of 5? I think the first person to get like 3 wins, and then if after like if they tie a match and both get 2 wins, maps. There will be another deciding match, and then if they still tie it, the points matter.
If each person wins 2 maps, it'll probably be either they'll call a tie, like if they tie 1 map and each person wins 2, it'll either be a tie or they'll play a playoff. I think it might just be a tie if that happens. The first map we'll be going on is Veranda Known 8. Map is very big. Got a lot of areas to cover. So it'll be exciting. I'm wondering how this is gonna be played. And Kikar had seduction target played on him by Wodar, which forces him to reveal his ST before the start of every map. So it'll be harder to get those seduces in.
Wasn't that played by Moth?
Indeed, that was placed by me.
Or maybe Moth. Well, it was played on Kikar.
Yeah, Kikar it was placed on Kikar.
By you, but I didn't know who played it.
But nobody's swapping out any maps here, so we're going to see known 8 on all maps.
And Wodar is playing a wild card.
He has quite a few of those. This week he bought 2 amateurs, which means that the opponent is not allowed to green test any mission. And he has from earlier couple faulty scopes.
And he gives him the faulty scope. This is gonna force Kikar to zoom in the entire match as a sniper.
Wow.
Especially
that's gonna be rough.
On gallery, it's gonna be huge.
On Veranda, really.
Veranda and gallery, yeah.
Yeah, Veranda you have to move around, and it slows you down. So, I mean, gallery's the one that it won't hurt the most, I thought, because you don't have to move so much left to right, just up and down.
I'm also excited to see it on Pan-Up, to be honest, because
Pan-Up's not gonna be fun to do that on.
Yeah.
Ballroom is going to be hard, but it's not going to be terrible. And then high rise is going to be about the same level of difficulty.
Okay, so we're in the match. On the overlay, for everybody that's just joining us, there's a dot that I will be switching around next to whoever starts as a spy first, because that person is setting the score, and then the second player to spy has to beat that score or tie. So it's known 8 and will count any completed mission. Also to note is that when a mission gets completed, it immediately counts, and if there's a wrong shot, the spy gets the full 8 points, and we're in the match. So Wodar starts off as orange dress here. Maybe not the best choice, but on veranda. It's a lot to handle for Kaika here, being zoomed in and everything.
Yeah, and therefore Wodar goes immediately for a swap.
Yep, that was a white swap, so he's.
But I don't think that Kikar managed to get to that side of the map.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't even check. It's
Kikar's just gonna have to
reasonable,
sit in
but
the middle
yeah.
here too. He can't. If he commits too much to one side, it's just gonna be death. Because then Wodar can just complete a ton of missions quite easily.
So yeah,
Yes,
Kikar has a lot of things going against him in this match. So I just assume he's trying to camp as much as he can and hope for catching an hardtail early, or at least not missing all the hardtails to at least get a chance as a spy later in the match. Finishing all 8 missions will be pretty hard, even with the huge disadvantage, or the huge advantage on Wodar sides, the huge disadvantage for the sniper right now. It's still not easy to get all missions done.
Yeah, it's more important to know who exactly the spy is and make the correct choice every time, rather than give your opponent all 8 points. Because let's for example, Kikar shoots Banana Man, then Wodar is just gonna sit there until he knows that he's done 7 missions, and just doing 7 missions on any map is just gonna be just about impossible.
well, basically in that case, Wodar just shouldn't shoot a civilian, and it's at least a tie. And a tie is only if Kikar can manage all 8 missions done, which is highly unlikely.
Another important thing is time on this map. You'll probably see quite a few time ads coming up, because you're not going to have time to do all 8 missions within the allotted time frame. So you'll see quite a few rushing.
Doesn't seem to me that Kikar is camping a certain mission. He's been going back and forth and trying to find suspicious people. But at the same time, Wodar didn't do a lot of missions.
Oh, the safety is off on Wodar.
Off on Wodar. That was
But doesn't take the shot. I think if Wodar does one more mission, he's going to get found out. Especially if VBB's right here. Nope. Good microfilm. And he should know that path was weird, but maybe he thought it was just an AI bouncing.
Oh, safety is off, and
he takes the shot.
And he shot. Oh, the shot came off during the BB. If he had waited another second, it would have been safe.
Wodar hadn't even completed so many missions.
Yeah, he only had one mission done, and Seduce and Fingerprint almost done. So.
Alright, well now, Kikar's got a near impossible task. He has to reveal his ST. So, doing Seduce is just about impossible. So, we'll see how he gets all 8 missions done.
With that wrong shot, that means he has to force a wrong shot from Wodar or get all the 8 missions done. So he has a lot to run up, or the first map is going to Wodar.
And both of those tactics are really difficult.
Yeah, I mean Wodar can play this relatively safe. He just needs to stay on one hardtail and camp it and prevent Kikar from basically completing that hardtail, and then he should be safe. We have a little bit of a break here. I assume Kikar has to find either a strategy on how to play this, coming from behind here, 0 to 8, or he's trying to play, or thinking about playing a wildcard maybe.
Well, Kikar has only one wildcard based on my research, which is Clear Infatuation.
Okay, so that probably doesn't even help that much.
At least not At least not while he's a spy. Definitely not. Later, perhaps.
Yeah, he might play it later into the game, but I think at this position he should either hope for wrong shot or just, you know, try
You
to
just have to
forget
frame.
Miranda.
He
Focus.
has to frame someone.
Yeah, focus on
It's
the
pretty
match.
much all it's gonna come down to.
Also just
If
realized
Wodar
the
really
time.
believes it's someone.
Time is a little bit off. I'm sorry for that.
It can't be orange dress, so.
We go for a bug.
Shot
And
for it.
Kikar gets shot for it.
That was quick. And so Wodar takes the first map.
Alright, Wodar up 1-0 on this map. And we're on a pan-op with Kikar sniping with faulty scope. Excited to see how this is gonna go down.
So the loser, the special thing about this, the loser of each map can choose who has to spy first. So we're going to see. It's up to Kikar now to decide. So Wodar decided he wanted to go as a spy first, and now it's Kikar's turn to decide. The score only goes for map wins, and you win a map by beating the score of your
We're only
opponent.
counting map wins.
Yep.
Counting map wins here. So we could have a tie if they each do and tie once. But that would be the only way.
Well, either 3 maps are tied. That's a general tie as well, but yes. And regarding the bets, even though Kikar is considered to be the leader of this game because the odds were 2-1 for Wodar and 1-2 for Kikar for the payout, the bets that were placed by players are actually 4,500 on Wodar and only 3,500 on Kikar.
Well, I mean, you've got the odds for Wodar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1-4-2. So people might want to be risking betting a little bit more just to try to get a profit. So, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you get nice payouts, especially if you bet even just like 1,000, which isn't a humongous investment. Make a nice payout, especially if things turn out like this.
We can on PanUp we can watch Kikar's strategy for a bit with the 4D scope here. Being really close.
Hard.
Just to make sure, if in case he zooms out or leaves the zoom for a second and then goes immediately back in, that's obviously not gonna be.
And Kikar catches the time ad.
He did, yeah.
Highlights people that he knows were in CC. Wodar probably gets some extra money for doing time ad.
Well, not exactly, because time ad costs 500 and the payout for time ad is only 350.
Actually,
one
So
time ad will
you
not
might try
get
to do
you
one more.
Wodar doesn't
I try to
use
do it
the
more.
contract, but he has a new contract open where he's impersonating the ambassador for a really large payout, but he has to pick up the briefcase and pretend to be the ambassador in a CC for an entire talk animation, which is probably not the easiest contract, to be fair, but Wodar has all
What
the
was-
chances to do it here with the faulty scope.
Yes, especially with faulty scope.
Yeah. It also allowed him to do a kind of sloppy briefcase in the beginning.
Get a white purloin, but that does get spotted, and Wodar gets a highlight
And Wodar
and
gets
a
shot.
shot.
And that's only 3 missions, so that's very doable, especially on Panop.
Well done to Kikar there. I think Wodar thought he was behind the pillar, and Kikar wasn't going to see it, but he might have just been tunneling on Purloin, knowing that he was going to have to do it eventually. That is a strategy. Just camp only one mission as a faulty sniper and just hope eventually someone will do it, and then you can catch them when they're only with 3 missions done. So now Kikar has the challenge of getting 4 missions in, which is definitely doable on Panop.
Yeah. especially
and
with
slow play this.
no wild cards except the ST reveal.
Clear infatuation, yeah.
That'll make things a little bit harder, but Pain Up is usually played at any 5 of 8. So if you just take off Seduce any 4 of 8, then you're still going to be winning here. So let's see how this goes.
Yes, now for Kikar it's almost like a normal game. Because you have to complete 4 missions to win.
So how would you play this as Kika? I would probably try to get 2 safe missions. I'm not sure if I would say Seduce is safe, but you could probably get
Seduce, I don't like Seduce, mainly because
fingerprint or inspect,
he knows who it is.
and then you know you just need to make sure that for your last mission, you just for the 4th point you just go for a swap, because if you get shot for it, it doesn't matter as long as it's completed.
That's true.
Microfilm a little bit more risky to be your 4th mission, because you actually have to put the book back so the animation plays and you're not completely safe at that point. It's hiding in
Also
yellow
just-
danger here. Yeah.
Also just try to cheese it, and it's possible. Not do the animations. But BB goes off, Wodar gets lowlights, and Kikar is highlight. We're probably talking during that.
And he
Or
goes
just being
to
a
center.
possible bug suspect too. He was right up next to the Amba.
Yeah.
And he goes for center statues, which is understandable because it's a full mission at once.
And Wodar
And
knows. Wodar can see him there, and he's probably having a high suspicion. So Kika needs to be sure to get 1 safe mission done before going for another hotel. He needs those 4 points because this is probably the best chance that he will get.
And I don't know if he will go for Seduce, because Wodar knows. He might just go for a hard tell. We'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, he probably could have gone away with at least 1 flirt and then could have checked if that was a green flirt, because a 2 flirt is definitely doable, but now that he went to center statues, it's a lot more riskier.
Yes, and with the time left, just beginning the seduce wouldn't really pay off. I think there's not enough time left for let's say 3 seduce, especially with clear infatuation used.
Kika does have the time to wait and go for fingerprints here, because he only needs to complete these 4 missions, but he wasted a lot of time in that CC without really doing anything, and he also didn't use the chance to purloin there, even though it would probably be very risky.
Perhaps he hoped that the idling would lose him some heat.
Goes for the swap already, so he at least forced the tie here. But yes, Wodar
And
saw
Wodar
it.
He gets shot.
And there's the shot. So I'm not sure. He had a minute left, over a minute left, so that could have been the
I mean,
4th mission.
any hard tell he does tie him. Like if he bugs, as long as the bug takes, I mean, he risks like getting caught, but he knows he ties at least. So going with fingerprints and maybe getting spotted out for it without completing it, maybe a bit too risky for him, and he just decided to go for the safe tie. So now we have Wodar 2, Kikar 1.
I'm gonna count them as half points because ties don't count as full map points.
I guess you could do that,
Yeah.
or just give a point to each person. Either way works.
No, because it's first to 3, so
Oh, I see.
3 full wins. If we tie another one, we have to think of a new way to score this. Yeah, I agree, Slappy Davis. It felt like a little bit rushed. Banana bread probably being the safest hardtail to do if you just need 1 more point.
Alright, this is Gallery, where I feel like Faulty Scope isn't going to make the biggest difference, except on the patio, where you have to divert a lot of your attention to if you're going to be scoped in. So if the Amba walks down and Kikar decides to guard it, Wodar might be able to get some missions done. We'll see how it goes.
Wodar with the early white flirt, so he needs to do at least 3 flirts here. But yeah, shouldn't be much of a problem on gallery. Has the second flirt done. 68%, that's pretty good.
Now it's time to do whatever you really want with the ST. Try to finish her, you can frame, you can do.
I feel like Wodar could be a lot more aggressive if he wanted to, but let's see. He's just rejecting. No purloin.
Takes a weird step there, but Kikar is just gonna.
I'm not sure if Kikar saw that.
Oh, there's a fingerprint.
And yeah, that was a rush briefcase, but that's okay.
I think Wodar tried to seduce, and since the seduce target left, he just saw the briefcase and used the opportunity.
Puts the book back.
Doesn't...
I think Wodar is gonna be going for the same strategy, trying to force a shot from Kikar.
Which I
But
don't
I think
agree,
Kikar-
to be honest. On gallery, I don't know. Because sooner or
But I
later
think
he has
Kikar
to...
should be...
I mean, Kikar's probably guarding the purloin and then just looking at the statues.
And he thought he saw a
Oh,
bug.
we shoot the seduce
Yeah.
target.
He shoots the seduce target. That's unfortunate. Again, he has to come up with 8 points in his spy round now.
Brilliant is hard.
I actually thought that Kikar would be much less... would be much more conserved and trying to be sure more of who the spy is, because he already made a civilian shot once.
Definitely, especially because I assume Kikar was camping the amber there a little bit in the end, but he still shot for a suspected bug. Like he didn't even see it that well. Like it was out of his vision, and he
The tricky part as well is that he knows that if he doesn't do anything, like if he just lets it go down, he's worried that Wodar's been rushing missions and he's getting close to like 5, 6, 7, and that he'll be done soon. So maybe he wanted to take a shot while maybe he only has 3 or 4 missions done, so he has a better chance of winning.
Yeah, and Slappy Davis brings up a good point. Assuming that Kikar chose to snipe first again, according to rules, the loser gets to choose, and since the last map was a tie, he could have chosen again. He chose to snipe twice now, so I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Because if you're already in a disadvantage as a sniper, you want to make sure that you make like at least a good spy run, and now he has to come up with 8 points, either with a wrong shot forced, or completing all 8 missions, which seems very unlikely.
Well, that's true on the one hand, but on the other, let's say I personally would probably even prefer to snipe first, because then, as a spy, I would know how many points do I need to win this map, and I would know and could think of how rushed or how relaxed could I play. So that's also an advantage to some extent.
It's true, but from the first map, he could have seen that Wodar is very relaxed on these rounds, and I'm not sure.
So yeah, Wodar's played both of his spy rounds pretty casually. I mean, on Panop it was a little more aggressive, but Kikar caught him out for it, so he went back to slow playing things. Kikar took a bad shot.
Perhaps that's some Yomi and strategy on Wodar's part. Like in this type of game, one would assume he would need to rush and do as many missions as possible, and therefore the sniper must be thinking that, and if the spy plays more relaxed way, the sniper is more likely to take a bad shot. So who
Okay.
knows?
So Kika goes straight to statues. For a second there I thought Wodar would not highlight, but he actually highlight both the statue visitors, actually all 3 statue visitors, and the people in the back CC for talking. That's a lot of highlights early on. I'm not sure if that's helping, but again, Wodar really just needs to camp one of the missions in order to secure this round. And it looks like he's looking at the purloin, so I assume he probably marked people for the purloin just to track them.
And I assume highlights in that back CC was for seduction target
Ooh.
being
That
in
was
it.
a right arm bug that Wodar missed.
Yeah, especially because Kika went straight through the conversation.
Wodar probably just wasn't looking.
Yeah, I'm convinced Wodar is camping this, but still I'm not sure why he's highlighting pretty much everybody on this map right now.
Well, I mean, he only has to make sure that one of those people like
Ooh,
have
the
gone to
timeout.
microfilm, done all these things, so it really isn't too big of a deal. And the green time ad goes off.
Yes, Wodar could have seen Kika there. He was zoomed out, and nobody else is close. So it all depends on if Wodar notices the green time ad. But
Yep,
the
he gets
BB is
low lights
distracting.
now.
Yes. Still a lot of highlights available though.
Notices the green.
Okay, there's a lot more aggressive de-lighting from Wodar here. And now Kikar
Back of
is
who
really
is up
standing
in
out.
the wasn't
Right
on the
next to his
patio or
SC.
not.
Yes. Oh.
I'm
This
standing
looks
right
bad.
to the seduction target.
And 7 missions in 2 minutes is impossible. So Kikar has to try to force a wrong shot. And I'm not sure standing right next to ST is the best chance of getting somebody else shot.
Wodar will wait this out or not.
Has the chance for a purloin.
For
I mean,
loins.
at this point, going for a green purloin is your best bet, and he hits it. The other highlight refuses as well, so if Wodar didn't see the first refuse, this might actually be in Kikar's favor. Polka Dots also refuses.
If cups a drink, Wodar might take a bad shot.
And there's the purloin, and Wodar was camping it, so he knows. He lowlights Polka Dots, even though she refused. And now, this is interesting. Another time at here. Ooh, if Wodar notices
right
this time
next to the
at,
seduction target.
Kikar should be dead. Next to
And
the
we get
SC.
just up 97%, which is super annoying.
Oh, he gets
Kikar gets a neutral.
Okay. But he's standing on the front panel again. It's all a matter of... At this point, Wodar has to notice the timeout with the slow beeping going on. Wodar has to know at this point. But he's still looking.
If he BBs right here, see if Wodar takes a poor shot.
I mean, Wodar doesn't have to take
And
a
we
shot.
get white banana bread.
If Wodar kept track of all his highlights, he should be convinced that Kika can't be done with all 8 missions at this point. Or he's just banking on it.
And weirdly enough, Kikar doesn't get a highlight back for talking during banana bread, which is considered to be, the Wodar shot.
Yes. But I'm pretty sure Wodar is convinced he won this. And there's the signal. He's just looking if there's a timeout or not. Kika. Yep. runs out of time and loses another map. So Wodar is up 2-0, and they both tied once. So we
Wodar
have
wins this map, it's all over.
yes, Wodar is in the best position to win this match right now.
The next map will be New Art Ballroom. I think personally this might be one of the hardest no-nate maps, but that and High Rise are two of the harder ones. I think you could maybe see some more shots, correct shots coming off, but who knows? Especially with the faulty scope and the seduction reveal.
Actually, we with mouse practice yesterday all these no-name mission maps, so Ballroom was the only one in which we Moth managed to get all 8 missions done.
It's probably the easiest map out of this map pool to get all the missions done. It's probably the
Exactly.
most spy heavy favorite map, because camping Amber and Purloin is not as easy as it is on, let's say, Panop or like the old art maps. Still
And
not
almost-
easy.
I thought
to
Veranda would
get
have been
rid.
the easiest one. This is any
Maybe
4 of
Veranda,
8.
yeah, but
This
on
is normally
Veranda,
played, yeah.
I'm not sure if Kikar can use this to his advantage, but he needs to get all three maps for the win, or at least 2 of them and another tie to tie Wodar here, while Wodar only needs at least one map won.
So we're gonna see if Kikar chooses to spy or snipe first.
So yeah, for everybody that didn't catch it earlier, Wodar actually has one of his contracts open that requires him to impersonate the ambassador, which means he has to take the briefcase and stand in a CC for one entire talk cycle while holding the briefcase. So that's extreme anti-AI behavior. And I'm not sure if Ballroom is the best map to pull it off, but I mean, he's ahead by
Yeah,
2
he would
maps at
have
this
to do it
point.
on this map. Like, if Kikar shoots a Civi again, Wodar might just go for it because he's got nothing to lose. Like, for example, if Kikar decides to snipe first again, and Wodar just goes for it, I mean, like, if he might just lose the next map on purpose so he gets another chance to do it.
I mean, what Wodar
It depends how
can
much he
do.
bet on himself too. I don't know how much faith he has in himself to do it. Like if he
Well,
bet 3 or 4K on himself, I'm sure he's more concerned about the payout than contracts.
but you wouldn't really lose on purpose in order to get a contract done, because the contracts are paid out only in the games that you win.
That's true,
Yep.
but Wodar is in a really comfortable position. He needs 2 ties or 1 win to finish this match in his favor. And at the same time, if he changes up his pace at this moment, where he had 3 slow maps, and now he could probably get 2 or 3 missions done early, because Kika might not expect that, and then just go for the go for the briefcase.
It also depends how Kikar decides to play it. Like if he just camps Amber this whole game, Wodar accidentally bugs, it could just be all over. Just all depends on really the sniper strategy. I feel like dictates how the spy should play with faulty scope.
Yes, but if you don't bug in the beginning and the bug is camped and the bug happens towards the end of the game, you would still probably have 3 or 4 other missions done. So I don't think camping Amba throughout the whole game is as much advantageous. Because later in the game it's just one more point, it's just one more mission. Well, for example, if you camp it in the very beginning of the game during the starting chaos, then you get a shot after with the opponent having only 1 point and possibly even 0 if the bug doesn't take.
So let's see who's buying first on ballroom.
Wodar is Kikar is sniping again.
There we go. So Wodar is
Wodar
buying again.
is Taft.
Kikar not being zoomed in.
Might have just forgotten. Might have to just replay this map if you remember.
Yeah.
He also might be messaging him. Forgot to do it.
Yeah, because I was about to actually.
I'm taking the administrative rights into my own hands and say that's fine.
Well, Iceman, I think, is gonna be the one to say it officially, but yeah, I assume it was like 3 seconds, perhaps? No, not like
A bit more, but
few
I mean,
More like
as long
10 seconds. I
Oh,
mean,
if Wodar is
he
fine
he
with that,
got
that
a
didn't really
highlight
give
at
him a lot.
statues, so
Yeah, let's see. Let's see how this plays out. If Wodar wins this, there shouldn't be a reason to complain.
that's true.
So let's switch. Let's see what Wodar is up to. He's been in this CC the entire time. Looks like Wodar is just going to play the slow again. Which I don't necessarily agree with. He's been doing that the entire time and he knows he has the big advantage.
And weirdly enough, Pearls gets a low light, even though she's standing at the statues.
Here comes off a BB. Not the worst time for Wodar. It's a safe mission. Doesn't get the briefcase here, but might get the flirt. Kikar's right on him though. And
it's a highlight for quick talking.
And only 18% of seduce left, which is almost any flirt will do, because the least amount is 17%.
Picks up the briefcase. The difficult one, but he might just be going for the talk
And
animation.
He's going for it,
Yeah.
and he gets shot.
Dead.
Wodar gets only 1 point.
Wodar 1 point. I mean, this is... I don't want to call it too soon, but this is the best chance for a comeback right now.
It is indeed.
Don't call it a comeback. But I mean, obviously it is Kikar's best hope here. I mean, just inspect 3 statues BB and you win the map.
Now, since Wodar lost, this could spark a bit more discussion regarding the forgetting to zoom in, but I don't think that would be the whole penalty like of the game.
I really don't think it mattered too much. I mean, he got a highlight at statues, and he memorized. Now it's about all the advantages he got, and he probably was gonna do that anyway. He zoomed in. He's trying to do that anyway, but I'm not sure it's humongous deal.
At the same time, Wodar also kind of blew his advantage of getting the contract money. Because Kikar should know at this point, if he memorized all the contracts, and he should, then he should at this point know that Wodar has the Amber impersonation open.
It's risky but extremely rewarding if you can get away with it. I like that kind of a risk-reward strategy they've added to the contracts. I was more tempted to buy them this time around than ever before.
Looking back
I feel
at
like
that,
they're much more balanced.
at the briefcase for Wodar, it wasn't that bad of a timing either. There was a lot of cover from the CC. The briefcase was barely visible, and Kikar basically just shot because he knew where the briefcase was located, even though he was zoomed in a lot. A little bit of
so Kikar now
control here in the beginning. See, straight at statues.
And yep,
Not highlight
those are
yet.
Statues.
Wodar
I mean,
probably
you can
worried
just-
about a swap.
Just inspect swap and you win, right? Goes to the other statues, inspect swap, win.
Yeah, but he
That's
was
true,
at the outer
because Kikar
statues, so
needs
he has
only-
to play this safe.
And he
And-
took a quick shot.
Green
I
gets
mean,
shot.
I'm not surprised. He had to risk it there, hoping he would catch him out before he's done any missions. So
I assume he was going to shoot for a potential BB. He was just waiting for a rushed BB and just shot at the best timing. Might be
it looked
the
like she could have
strategy.
also bugged too.
But in Wodar's
at
position,
305.
I mean, Wodar just needs 2 ties out of 3 maps. Or a win, a single win or 2 ties. So he could have waited for at least one mission to be completed, if that was the BB.
I mean, also, as we were saying, spec swap is just there's no real tell for it. So, I mean, he took a quick shot thinking that maybe she bugged. Didn't get away with it.
I'm not sure if, let's see. Whoops. There we go.
Right, so now Kikar has to win in order just to tie.
Yeah, I think Wodar was on the buck and less about the talk. Okay, next round.
Wodar choose to spy first.
I mean, in Wodar's position, I would have chosen Spy first as well, because he has seen that Kikar is very likely to do a wrong shot here, at least in the first 2. But at this point, if I was Kikar, I kind of want to pay attention to like a slow play at this part, because Wodar's been playing really slow for the entire match, and I'm not sure if shooting early pays off.
Yeah, I think if I was Kikar, I would just be trying. I would just try to be as sure as possible with my shot.
Also, High Rise probably the smallest map of the map pool here, which should be in Wodar's advantage. He told me before the match that he doesn't like the big maps, he prefers the smaller maps. So let's see if he can take an advantage out of that.
That's interesting he says that, considering that he faulty scope on a Kikar. I assume I would prefer to use the bigger maps, in my opinion, just because I feel like I have more chances to get stuff done. But I know Wodar's a very big proponent of maps like balconies, so
Yeah. Well, I guess in that case, Wodar thought that faulty scope would do more.
Oh, and
Wrong shot again.
Not a single mission completed, and here it is again. What was the shot for?
what did he do?
I'm not even sure. Let's see. I'm not sure if that was just pure intuition or
Well,
He's talking quite a lot in
a
that
lot.
CC. Yeah, I think that might be the only thing.
But I really don't think that should be a reason to shoot, especially in Kikar's position within the games.
Alright, so that close it out, I guess? Because, so, Wodar won for Randa.
I mean,
Tied on Panop. So, Wodar has the wins.
Think about it. I mean, Kikar can still go for 8 or Wodar for wrong shot for the tie here.
Yes, but that would be 8 points for Kikar, which would make this map a tie, which would mean 2 ties, 2 wins for Wodar, and 1 win for Kikar. So Wodar still wins now, the whole game anyways.
No, if Kikar ties both the next 2 maps, wait.
This is the last map, and the last game.
This is the last map, okay, never mind.
Yes. So if he ties this particular game, he ties the map, which would bring overall numbers to 2 ties, 2 wins for Wodar, and 1 win for Kikar.
Oh, that's true.
So Wodar now wins in any case.
I might need to tell Wodar that. But he's in his match. Let's let this play out.
Well,
I mean,
the seduction target is low lit already because of clear infatuation. Wodar clearly knows who that is.
Yeah, the talk animation could have looked. That's true. He can play out for contracts, but Kikar doesn't have any contracts open. I think. Yeah. Oh wait, never mind. I actually forgot. Kikar was going to tell me. I'm not sure if he did. So I just assume there's nothing to gain here for Kikar in this match. But we'll just wait and watch what happens.
Well, if he wins and has contracts, then it's still some money. And overall contracts work on only one mission at a time, and since he did not finish Seduce and went to Statues, we know he does not have that. Or at least he's not going for it in this case.
I'm checking right now if there's an open contract. If he told me.
Perhaps he has procrastination because I think he had it twice or even 3 times in gallery. I think it was twice. So it's still possible. In that case, it would pay off.
I'm not even sure that an Ace Spies won money, because I think the only time Wodar added time was on Pan, but he lost that. Still died.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's won any money.
But Kikar time added on gallery while he was like baby blue suit.
But he still lost. Because he ran out of time. No, he ran out of time.
Ran out of time, yeah.
So I don't think anyone has any money.
Kika definitely has a contract open because he wanted to message me his contract.
And I mean, Wodar can literally just sit here and just wait.
But I mean, for the contract to happen, Kika does have to win this, and there's just no way he's going to win this by round.
That's true.
Time at
too late.
Right before you could do it.
Out of time.
Just when the timer counted to 0.
Wodar takes it.
Wodar takes it with 3-1 and a tie.
And this game really showcases the power of the wildcards. Wodar was the clear underdog, but by using reduction target and faulty scope, really.
I wouldn't call Wodar the underdog.
I mean, he had odds stacked against him. With the wildcards, I think that completely changed.
But
I would say like almost 3-1 for.
Wodar was had the Wodar was
2-1 for Wodar. I mean, with the wildcards.
Just from the odds.
That's just because of the money.
But yeah,
Iceman mentioned that the odds just are based on the standings in the leaderboards, and Wodar basically blew a lot of money on wildcards. Probably on betting as well.
Iceman said they might have just been really close. Wodar might just have more money and they were balanced beforehand.
But at the beginning of this round, Wodar had 2,000 left. Before the wildcard shop, Wodar had 2,000 left. Kikar had 750.
So anyways, that's the match, and Wodar takes it. So tomorrow we have a match, a little bit early, I think. I think it's
the Euro-friendly
Euro-friendly time, 10 p.m. Greenwich GMT, and that translates to 4 p.m. Eastern. No, wait.
4:30 Central and 2:30
10:30
EST.
Yeah.
10:30. Yep.
10:30 GMT and then 4:30 Central.
I'm playing KCMM, so it'll be exciting.
Yep.
Really hyped.
Be a great match. Definitely an uphill battle, but you've seen wildcards can change the outcomes of these matches.
We'll see what wildcards do for me. So I'm not gonna give anything away. Let the hype go. All right.
So join us tomorrow on this channel, I assume. Pretty sure it's being casted. I'm not sure who is going to cast it, but it's definitely on this channel. And do you want to plug your channel, Leash? I know you stream a lot. Well, not a lot, but I know you.
Not too
cast
much,
it before
but
on your channel.
I've been getting into it.
Yeah. So you're Yeshua, I think.
I am.
Yes, Yeshua on Twitch, and I'm Mollusk Moth. And I don't know if Catnap streams.
No,
Yeah.
I don't stream. I just have an account.
Thanks everybody for joining us. And
Bye-bye.
have a good night.
Have a good night. Signing out.